Because a week and a half or whatever, you might as well have them.
Okay.
If you get a chance, I'm gonna ping um, Gov. If you get a chance, check out the spreadsheet. Just add the information for yourself. I'll find Shelly here too. I know I've got this shit somewhere. I'm gonna work after this to put together the reoccurring meetings for this one for Voyager committee and builders. I'm sorry I haven't done that yet.
That sounds good. I'm just getting the excuse me. I'm getting the agenda ready. There's a couple new proposals.
Okay. I found your address and Shelly's address.
Yeah, it looks like Bogan submitted a proposal.
Who was it?
Bogan?
Oh yeah. It's mostly kind of like an internal thing for the council, but just wanted to
Policy.
be kind of
Policy.
transparent about what's happening with it. Huh?
Yeah. Is it a
It's
policy
basically
change or
an
something?
allocation of the funds we have um towards having a council chair and a secretary, basically just assigning, some kind of value to those roles.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, that was a long and drawn out council meeting on Monday.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we got a good crowd today.
Yep.
The agenda has been shared. Let me turn my camera on here. It's a Dorkfy week, guys. Very, very recording. I believe we're live on YouTube at the moment. So for anybody who wants to come up and speak or whatever, just know that you are being broadcast live on YouTube, which is good stuff. Thank you, Fury. Once again, very progressive week. I feel like we say it every week. We say it at the beginning of every meeting. We're gonna have to switch it up at some point here, and give some different open remarks and maybe not. But yeah, lots of big things happening right now in the entire ecosystem, and yeah, it's really exciting. We are getting very, very close to launching the Dorkfy lending markets, and we'll give a Dorkfy update in a minute. But I've been seeing some buys happening on the price of Voi, so that's always encouraging as well.
And the price
Um,
of unit.
and the price of unit. So people are clearly getting excited. Looking forward to that's okay. Maybe Ludo will show up and talk about it.
Mm.
And then, yeah, obviously House of Voy. Maybe we'll get Chris in here to talk about House of Voy as well. I did not make it to the
Oh,
builders meeting
no.
this morning, partially because it was too early for me once again. I hit snooze and then my snooze alarm just didn't decide to go back on, unfortunately. So, yeah, that is something. We've got somebody who wants to come up and talk. Do we take a chance?
Could be.
We're just at the beginning of an agenda that's been posted into the chat here. So we can let you up, but just know that there's kind of open discussion once we get through our communications, updates, and announcements portion of things. So we'll open up the stage for you. We'll get you on here, but just know that hang tight for a moment to contribute. There is an invite sent. Let's see if he'll join. If
Oh,
not,
yes,
it's
good
okay.
evening.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody wants to talk about the builders meeting or we can just review it later. It is recorded on YouTube, so we can all get in there and rewatch these things. Something kind of fun. And I don't know, it's a little bit well, I wouldn't say disappointing, but I did try to clip up a few of the builders meetings, um, to see if I could get any decent content out of them, and also this meeting, and also the council meeting as well. And we got to be a little bit more precise with how we talk about things if we want to have anything clipped up. I think Zarmian talking about the Voy wallet that and then also there's a little bit of him talking about the Snowball Dex aggregator that probably could be reused. We just need to clip it a little bit differently. So, yeah, welcome
By the
to the space.
by the
Cole,
way,
what's up?
for people in the audience, is Bagman's camera working for you? It's just for whatever reason, it's not working for me.
It's not working.
Well, I don't know. It says it's failing to load, and then I'm hitting. Yeah, people are saying no. Maybe try to just like tap it.
Does that work?
It's trying to work.
That's okay. I'll go
It's all
off
right.
camera for now.
Okay.
But I am here. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it needs an update or something. I've got one of those Logitech cameras attachments, so might be that. All right, so we do have a new person in the audience as well. Welcome. This is the Voyager committee meeting. We run these meetings every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and we have, pretty consistent agenda where we go through different updates on and announcements for core products that are being launched and different projects that are being built on the Voy network. So welcome to anybody who is here new. And yeah, once we open up the open discussion, feel free to join and, bring whatever perspective that you might have in the ecosystem to that open discussion as well. So all right, moving down on the agenda, if we want to talk about any Voy wallet updates, Zarmian, you're welcome to come up and chat about that. project. If you've got anything that you want to share, that's a kind of an announcement. I know that obviously it's live on the Google Play Store and the iOS Apple Store as well. So feel free to, check it out. All right, yeah, let's get them up here. Since you started it, I think Haruf, you might need to be the one. Oh, there it goes.
Here I
Yeah,
am.
it just takes.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what you just said. The over the weekend, the Apple Store or Apple approved the latest update, so now there's feature parity again between the Android and iOS versions. So make sure to download that. There will be another version coming out soon that fixes a few bugs, and then and I'm also hoping I've written the integration. I'm testing it. I'm hoping to get it approved. The integration with Snowball Swap so that you can do deck swaps inside of. I like that little smile roof inside of the app itself. And then further down the roadmap, I need to work on notifications, and I have a few other little things that I think are necessary to make it um, you know, an actual contender as a decent wallet app, and then we'll start to explore, more interesting features.
That's awesome. I know it's a kind of a big push to have the Snowball Dex aggregator integrated with it, and it's definitely one of those things that these days is pretty commonplace to have, you know, i- integrated directly with mobile wallets. So super, super excited about that. And um, yeah, I don't know if you want to talk at all about any more of the Snowball Dex aggregator. We can kind of move that up since you're up here.
I'm sure that I'm working on improving the routing. There are some, it's a little bit trickier because ARC 200 swaps take more transactions, so I can't do, um, and I want to fit it all into a single atomic transaction group. So, it might not be able to give you the best pricing that you could potentially get if you manually went through and picked your routes, but it does make it really easy to swap between tokens that don't have direct liquidity pools. Pretty much anything can be used as an intermediate token, so it'll use Voy if that's the best option, or it'll use unit if that's the best option, which helps kind of add to the volume on those tokens.
Mm,
Um, but and it'll try to split the route between Humble and Nomadex to give you, whichever one has the better liquidity on it. Or if they both have decent liquidity, it'll just split it between the two. So I'm just doing some more to try to improve it. But overall, if people can try it out and give me feedback, especially if you find that like you were able to find a better swap that you could do, you know, with a reasonable number of swaps, like 3 or 4, not 15, and you could find a better price. Those sort of data points are helpful. Kind of gives me
Awesome.
something a way to try to make it more efficient or make it find those routes that it might be missing. But that's about it. And I'm gonna try to I've kept it kind of quiet um, so that I could get some testing in. I'm planning to try to you know further publicize that as like a one-stop shop for swapping as opposed to using something like using the dexes directly. But it still
Sweet.
benefits the dexes just as much as if you use them directly. So um, I think that's the
Very exciting. I know it's one of those things that's been on the bounty board for quite some time now. Um, and I'm just curious as to what's the best way to provide feedback. Um, is there a channel inside of this Discord for it?
I don't think there is one yet. We can
Want
make
me to
one.
create one?
Yeah, let's make one.
Yeah, that'd be
Might as
great.
well.
Snowball swap.
That
Okay.
would definitely be the best way to get in touch.
That sounds good. It's always good to have a place for people to provide that feedback that's not in just specifically in your DMs. It's much more difficult to kind of sift through the DMs and get that feedback into, you know, a consumable way for development. So yeah, Haroof, get on it, man. Get on it.
Already done. Already done.
Perfect, perfect. So yeah, we'll get the word out a little bit in different spaces to have people start to give some feedback there. I think it's super important, you know, from an infrastructure play for the entire ecosystem. I know Shelly's been also working on Alley Swap, which I think is out in the wild as well. Um, so yeah, and it, if I'm not mistaken, it uses some of the same kind of logic, um, just a different interface and a few different features, if I'm not mistaken, a little more simplified. But cool. That's that. If you haven't, do you have anything else you want to add at
No,
all?
I don't think so.
Real quick
That's
though,
pretty good.
how was the trip to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, that was good, and we made a lot of solid progress. So I'm excited
You
to
got
see.
out of Chris's basement alive. That's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and Shelly
I
did
know. I
not
saw.
murder me, so you know that worked out.
Yeah. I saw Shelly had gotten a little bit of a tan there. How about yourself? So you get tan or sunburn or
No,
anything?
you think Chris let us outside? You
I
fool.
was gonna say, it sounds like Chris could have tanned your hide, you know, because he was working
I
you so
know.
hard with that
Yeah.
whip.
I had asked Shelly if I was like, man, it looks like you got a little bit of sun. He's like, yeah, I was working
I got
at
to
the
sit near the
station right next to the window.
Exactly. But we made a lot of progress on the next machine, which is a progressive slot machine.
That's awesome.
It adds, you know, some. I would say it's had some more interesting dynamics, like the ability to give users credits, the ability to have bonus spins, and a progressive jackpot, and like more
Cool.
interesting ways to win. So that's really exciting. And then I did some work on like a sandbox for the developers, so that the development team, that the design team that's working on, you know, a more professional um, interface for the machine, can basically abstract away the blockchain and not have to deal with any of that stuff, and just interact with, you know, the things that they need to interact with, and we can get it integrated more cleanly. So that's I would say big progress there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I know since Chris is not here right now for House of Void updates, that this kind of serves as that. It seems like you guys were just truly doing a weekend long hackathon, getting shit done, and really crushing it on the development side. So that's super exciting. Um, I know. Are you guys still on track for the kind of big um, what were you calling it? Kind of game weekend or game launch, I guess, of the new machine, or are you gonna maybe push that back? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chris had mentioned previously, you guys were targeting like Thanksgiving weekend, or maybe a little bit beyond that for the release
Yeah,
party, I guess.
we've been targeting Thanksgiving weekend. I think that is still currently the plan, but it
Nice.
could shift a little bit, or it could slide a little bit.
Sure.
We'll see. A lot of it will depend on the design um, side, or we might have it not have the new design yet, which I think would be unfortunate. So we'll see. We'll see where we end up, but
And
still, that's still currently the plan.
yeah, and I think last I knew too, you guys were also working on some referral system and referral codes, and I'm curious, is that something that could potentially be used by other projects in the future, or is it mostly, custom built specifically for House of Boy?
It's mostly custom built because it's very like centralized.
Yeah,
But everything that we're building for House of Void is public anyway. So I guess in theory it could be reused.
that's awesome. That's cool stuff. I don't know if we do anything with that for Dorkfi, but I'm sure there's other projects out there that might want to do some type of referral system in the future.
Hmm. Definitely.
Super sweet, man. I'm excited about House of Boy, and this upcoming new machine. And I know that we've had some conversations with Chris too about doing a WAD machine, so be able to use the WAD stablecoin to pay to play.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah, so I mean, are
I
you
know that
excited about taking our WAD?
What do you say, Haru?
Are you excited about taking our WAD?
I knew it was gonna be something like that. Yes, I am very excited.
is
Um,
that something that can be added pretty easily to the snowball
oh yeah.
game?
Any token is really easy or pool. As long as it has a liquidity pool,
Yeah.
it would be really easy to add.
Okay, fantastic. Because I
I
think
would
that
think,
that's something that we'll definitely want to be, um, you know, looking at creating those LPs pretty quickly once we've got it live, tomorrow, and and then yeah, it'd be pretty sweet if we could get it on both of those DEX aggregators, um, as well as some of the other aggregators over on Algo too. So super
Yeah,
excited
and
about getting WAD out there and using all the tools that you guys have built so far.
we've been talking about adding it to um, like the House of Wayne machines. Um, I think
Is
Chris
there a
was
way
planning to get in touch
oh,
with you to discuss it.
yeah, that sounds good. I'm kind of curious too. Is there a way to, and I think maybe I asked you this previously, but is there a way to maybe do like an I by WAD type of thing?
Um, yeah.
It might be
What I
complicated. We'd have to like provide a pool to you for it, I'm sure.
we'd need liquidity somewhere. Right
Yeah.
now, the way that iBuyVoy works is it's doing the swap on base, but I think I want to get rid of that anyway. Now that I have now that I have a DEX aggregator, it becomes easier for me to do the swap on the voice side. So yeah, that should be possible. I just have to look into like change the mechanics slightly. So there is a little bit of work, a little bit of effort that has to go into it, but I think it could be done.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's something that I think in the future might make sense to try to do. One of the things that we have on our, on our plate is to get wider distribution of WAD as well. So it might make sense to do some type of I buy WAD, especially with the uh, potential WAD machine on House of Boy, to have people be able to just go I buy WAD and then play with
Hmm.
that. So I could see that being kind of an interesting feature that,
Well,
if we get some good um,
so one of the
use.
ways that the House of Void works, you deposit USDC into it, so you can buy USDC through Coinbase or whatever. Well, through iBuyVoy is what's happening. You
mhm.
buy USDC, it goes into your account, and then from there you can buy any other token that's supported on the platform, and that is using the Snowball Swap backend system to do the
Mhm.
swap. So, like, if it's available on Snowball Swap, it can be available, for purchase right there. right on inside your House of Void account. So you can buy Void that way, but you can buy you can buy WAD, you can buy whatever token.
It's awesome.
Another question before I forget, Zarmian. Um, how can I best confuse the bots on Algorand into thinking that WAD is like a new token that needs to be purchased and sent to the moon, as opposed to a stable coin that should stay around $1?
I would recommend talking to Wilder about that.
That's a good point.
Sounds good.
That's a good point.
Yep. The Hog Master.
Hmm.
Just another quick question too for you while we've got you up here. I know that there was some discussion previously about some type of uh, incentive program proposal for iBuyVoy. Is that something you're still looking to pursue? Because I think that would definitely be interesting, especially with
Yeah,
the
I
right
would
plan.
definitely be interested in it. I honestly don't know how I personally would want to do it. So I am, you know, open to recommendations and thoughts and
Yeah,
whatever the council decides or thinks would be like applicable. I'm happy to submit the proposal, but I wouldn't even know what to put on it at this point.
yeah.
So
And I was thinking too,
it's a
like,
challenge because you don't want someone to be able to just scam it and just like put money through and then an, an infinite amount. But if you did something where it's like you don't get it immediately, there's a delay or
right.
whatever, that might
And it could be like a minimum purchase too. So it's like, oh, if you buy $100 worth of Void, then you get 10% that unlocks. It drips out over the next, year or something like that. I think that might
yeah,
even be
or
too
like get X percent, after 30 days or 60 days or something,
long. Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
How
I
about
think that
this
would
that I
be a
just
start.
that I just thought of? Have it tied to use of House of Void. So once you guys have the next level for like achievements or like like play amounts or whatever, once you hit like bronze 5 or whatever, like your holdings unlock that allow you access to them. That way you like ensure like a level of play, and people can unlock it quicker if they play more.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
think that could
idea.
work too.
You're welcome.
It's like as if the Haruf has never played slots before.
It's almost like I'm playing a Mexican themed slot right now, and you know have a lot of insight into this world that you guys have not tapped into yet. I called Yayo the other night to show him this slot. Actually, it's got this hot little Mexican girl, and it's always like orale. It's like when you're winning a lot, it's fucking great.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Insights into roof.
Yeah, seriously. Never a dull moment. It's good
Never
stuff.
know.
Um, but yeah, no, super exciting. I think there's definitely
And I want to
from
do
the
something
user committee.
similar. I want to do something similar um, with like Boy Wallet of like even just like a drip. Like you use it like every day you use it, you earn Boy or something like that. Like
Mhm.
to kind of incentivize people to install the app and keep it on their phone and keep it in their mind.
Yeah, it's almost a questing type of thing where it's
Hmm.
like go and use and go to each of the applications that are in that little browser there, and every time that you do, I don't know, you'd have to probably put some decent thought into how you wanted to release the tokens.
Yeah, it's really like figuring out the mechanics and figuring out how to incentivize people.
Well, I think there'd be wide support for it across the board, and in terms of like trying to get the proposal passed,
Hmm.
there's definitely opportunity there, and I think with all of the things that we're working on for DorkFi and unlocking liquidity in the ecosystem, I do see, more eyes on the space, and if we can incentivize people to buy Voy, use the Voy mobile wallet, and go play on House of Voy and go participate in DorkFi, it could create a really interesting flywheel effect for however long the incentive program is out there. But I do think it now would be the time within the next several months to get something like that done and promoted and out there.
Hmm. Agreed.
Sweet. We'll put that on an action item to think about a little bit more deeply. I think, it's also going to take a conversation and discussion from the council as to, what they're willing to put out there for incentives for it. So yeah, little coordinated effort there, but we'll start ringing the bells and get something going on it.
Sounds good. All right, I gotta run because I gotta run to another meeting. But
Hey, thanks for joining and giving the update on the Voy wallet, Snowball Decks, and House of Voy. Really appreciate it. And I buy
no
Voy,
problem.
all the things that you're working on. So
See you later.
later.
That was a
Cool.
great
We'll move
idea.
on in. It's a fantastic idea. Good thing we're recording this. Thank you, Fury, once again, because we can look back when we forget what the idea was and figure it out all over again. Because I'm sure, um, you know, we'll need a little bit of a reminder. We'll jump to my favorite topic, the DorkFi updates, and a lot of stuff is going on with DorkFi right now. We are going to be launching tomorrow, and at some point today, we'll let y'all know exactly what time to be ready to go live with our lending markets. So once again, we are going live with the lending markets. Liquidation markets will happen a little bit later on the 15th of December, and yeah, super excited about that. Another big update for us with DorkFi is that we were the recipient of an Amazon AWS startup grant. So super exciting on that front as well. Looking at other grant opportunities for us. We also, just I think it was last night, received um, the incentives for the first 3 months of, or I should say, the phase one of our incentive program. Um, so thank you to EZK and Gov for being timely about that token release. I know those guys are always on top of things. And yes, Yayo unit is still valued right now, wildly undervalued. That is. I know there's been a little bit of a upswing in unit and in Voy. So that's exciting. And I think that's going to continue as we inject liquidity into the ecosystem and give an opportunity for folks to mint WAD and go and play with their WAD on different platforms and do different things with it. So super excited about it, and let's be ready to go live. Everybody out there, Haruf, do you want to add anything?
No, I'm just excited about injecting liquidity.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. I know Pena had a pretty fun space last night too, where we kind of went over, some of the other details about DorkFi. So feel free to hit me up in my DMs, but stay out of everybody else's DMs for any Dorkfi questions, you can also go and jump into the Dorkfi Discord if you've got anything that you're interested in sharing feedback on as we go live. The pre-fi markets, there will be a period of time where you're going to go in and migrate your contract. I'm sorry, migrate your tokens from the pre-fi market contract into the lending market contract. So that's something that we'll be directing folks to do so that we can start to distribute those incentives around to the folks on Voy that are participating. Very excited about it. So Aramid update. I don't think we have anybody from the Aramid team here today. So nothing really to share there. So we can kind of skip over that one and let's talk about a Twitter update. Haruf.
We basically are continuing to discuss it as a council. I'll post a couple things today, but the kind of consensus is that we wanted Coop to do it, or we do want Coop to do it, but we haven't been able to kind of reach him for like a more detailed conversation to break down like the pricing. So the next option that we've been considering is basically asking you if you'd like to create an agent to slowly learn and post from that location, and we feel like it's a decent option that would save some money, and while it's not as good as having somebody kind of behind there who's really like creating a lot of content for it, until we have a price increase for Voy, it might be a good alternative. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, and at least on that front too, it does take time and effort to get this thing, any AI agent up and running,
Yeah,
and some attention to detail around that, that character and how that character operates. What I'll do, um, Victor is currently not running at the moment, so I can get him going again. And we can take a look at his character profile and how to improve that character profile. We
yeah,
may need to kind of start from scratch on building out this character profile and kind of giving it a voice and a personality. I don't think we want it to be as
DJ.
volatile and degen as Panda. So it's going to require us to come up with, the best types of responses that we want it to have. We'll need to put some parameters around how frequently we want it to post. And there's absolutely going to need to be like a couple, at least a couple people in the loop on that account. Um, for me, I can, do some things. Um, what I, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more thought and time in order to get it up and running. It's not one of those things that I could just do within like a few hours. It's going to be at least a few days to get the profile
Yeah,
like dialed in, and then we'd also need a pretty healthy knowledge base to feed it as well, and that's where we'll need to. That's where like a news feed would come in handy as well on the Voy network Discord, where if people have a whole bunch of different announcements or things that they want to talk about their project, um, it would be ideal if we could feed it like press releases on the internet. So if we, had some type of, I don't know, more activity around Medium articles that highlight, projects that are happening in the ecosystem. If we had something like that, I think it would be easier to maintain in the long run. for an AI agent and the knowledge base. It is one of those things it periodically needs updates and periodically needs new knowledge. Otherwise, it will just default back to, you know, the kind of plain thoughts that it has. And then eventually at some point, and I don't have time for it at the moment, I would need to do some learning and developing and building. But at some point, we would definitely want it to be able to read the blockchain and be able to see, you know, what different applications people are engaging with, what types of volumes folks are doing, NFTs that people are minting, activity that's happening from the House of Boy side of things, and get it all kind of connected. So it's one of those evolving things that, um, you know, I'm happy to step up and at least get Victor Boy running again and explore building out the character profile for the Voy account.
Uh,
And I'd be happy to do, you know, some type of retro for it.
yeah,
I'll wanna I'll need to just kind of calculate what the API call fees are going to be on it, and you know how much time gets spent into kind of building it out. I don't think it will be as I wouldn't request as much as what Coop has put out there, because I know, you know, there's what he's doing is and has proposed is a little bit more comprehensive than what an AI agent would do. But yeah, there is still a lot of time that goes into kind of programming the thing. So I
yeah,
can put it on my to-do list, and you know, it's just at the moment not my top priority. If I were to run through my priorities, it's number one, obviously Dorkfi and all the things that we're working on that. Um, Number two, I really do want to make sure that we get this governance platform, you know, developed and out there. That's going to take some time as well, and that's going to require you know, some effort from the council too. We need to, you know, talk about out of the, yeah, there's a level of commitment that comes from the council on building out that that council platform, and and that's going to require you guys to provide feedback and do some testing and that type of thing. And then, you know, of course, the AI agent is would be probably third, but I will work on. I'll fit it into my workflow as well. So I'll
yep.
get something going here,
Yeah, all I was
and
gonna
we can.
suggest is that the council can take a look at like the profile for an agent and like provide feedback, you know, and then it can be later. It's obviously not gonna just, you know, materialize. That's fine.
Yeah, totally. And the key things for it uh, is like, all right, what's the personality going to be? And that is maybe not the most important thing, but what's more important is how will it respond? How will it tweet? What are some examples we need to gather? Like, I don't know, 10 or 15 examples of ways that we think that it should communicate and tweet. And then how does it respond to people as well? So
Yeah,
what's that flow look like when you know, somebody you have, you know, the agent tweet out something and then somebody comments on it and then the agent, you know, says something back, right? And then it follows kind of a logic template, and it's those responses that are super important as well. So it's not just like how is a tweet, but it's also how is it going to respond to people.
yeah,
So examples around that, and then finally the, you know, the knowledge base side of things. And you know, once we have that all lined up and dialed in, we can turn it on. Just know that there is a little bit of, you know, there's some security vulnerability there where I'll have the password. I'll need the password for the account,
sure.
and that password is, you know, fed to the agent itself, and that does open up some security risk there. So just know that that is a possibility for
Yeah,
a
we can
large
sort all this
account
stuff
that
out.
already, yeah, it's a large account that's already got like 30,000 followers or 20,000 followers or something. So what we don't want to do is let it loose and then somebody either get a hold of that password and kind of lock us out of it, or the other thing, let it loose, it go crazy, and we have to quickly turn it off so that it doesn't piss off the entire follower base, and we start to lose engagement and lose followers. um, so that's another little bit of a concern that I have, but it does make sense. I think once again, it's one of those things that you want to have an agent be tweeting from it, and then you probably want at least one other person that is actively managing and tweeting alongside, so that not every post is coming from an agent. You've got a human in the loop on that front, and yeah, so it's possible, it's doable. We can start working on it. It won't happen overnight, but yeah, I think in the long run it makes sense, and then it also makes sense to maybe have a little bit of a swarm of agents out there that are kind of tweeting on behalf of the entire ecosystem. So, and that might be on a project to project basis as well. Um, where we've got agents running from different project accounts and those types of things too. So there's a lot of different ways that we can bolster the engagement across the ecosystem through agents, but it needs to be well thought out. Cool. Moving on to OX Labs. So we met with OX Labs last week and had a pretty good meeting, I would say. Essentially, OX Labs, they help different startups in the Web3 space get grant funding. They've got a website that allows actually advertises different grant opportunities to their ecosystem, and really any other project that might want to come in and take advantage of that aggregation of grant opportunities. And so I think it's a really good opportunity for us to get some more visibility in the Web3 builder space. So the way that we left it was that we would provide kind of a list of needs that we have, things that the council would be and the ecosystem would be interested in um, you know pursuing and paying out and funding grants for. And on kind of on the short list of things that I want to send over to them is more on and off ramps. I think that's something that we would probably pay for. I heard from some of the council members on Monday that seems like a logical place. The other thing that we could potentially advertise as well is another bridge opportunity. So if there's other bridge projects that have gone live on other ecosystems, let's say Base or any other kind of EVM ecosystem, if they built an integration into Voi, that would be something that we would pay for as well. And I'm not sure if anybody else. I would love to hear feedback from folks in the audience too, or Haruf here. But what are a couple other things that we can share with them that we're looking forward that we would pay for?
I don't know, I have to think about it.
Maybe a prediction market, That's something that I know that has been talked about by Taco a lot. So that could potentially be an option to provide to them. I don't know if there's other core infrastructure things that need to be developed, kind of CLAM, if you will, the concentrated liquidity AMM. I think that there's ways to do that stuff based off of the DEX aggregators. It's just kind of like the next evolution to those aggregators could, but yeah, I'm not sure if anybody's actively working on a CLAM in the in this Voight ecosystem currently. I know that Ludo's working on one or has one built for Algorand, but I'm not sure if it's been built for Voight yet. So maybe that's something that we can put out there as well. General marketing, probably, a
Yeah,
couple other things on the roadmap.
that's along the lines of what is really needed, but, um,
And
finding,
looking into, go ahead, sorry.
no, it's all right.
Looking back at some of the things that had been proposed previously from OX Labs, but we just never heard back from anybody there. It was like Earned Network. They had submitted a microservices or micro development grant. And from my understanding, it was some type of DeFi and RWA. It was developing robust API with chain abstraction. So yeah, token abstraction, gas optimization, which isn't really needed, but yeah, building out ways for agents to be able to interact with the chain. That's another thing that I think we would be open to. Did I lose you guys?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, my Discord froze up on me. Um, yeah, there are a couple other things that we can look at as well. All right, network upgrade. We've got about 10 minutes left. I know this has been kind of a hot topic. If I'm not mistaken, I did chat with Gov yesterday, and he mentioned to me in passing that it's it's being worked on between him and Benny. They're coordinating that network upgrade information and what's really needed to get that done. And I think there's a little bit of other coordination that needs to happen as well from I think maybe Henrik or Shelly, one of the two, or maybe both, in order to get that done. But it's definitely top of mind. I know that it plays into relay running and peer-to-peer um, node participation and all that fun stuff as well. It's not something that I'm super knowledgeable about, but something that I think is extremely important for the broader ecosystem to have that taken care of at some point here too.
Yeah, people are asking about it,
Did I
so.
lose you? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think it would solve some of the stuff about relay pay and all that wasted time that we had on Monday.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was a waste of time, but it felt like it a little bit. Sorry. Um, okay. Anything else that we want to talk about in open discussion as we've got it live here? Or are we good to go?
I'm pretty good. I know we got a bunch of shit to do today, but if
Yeah,
people have other things to talk about, they're welcome to get up.
sounds good. We'll give it a second and then adjourn the meeting. All right, let's adjourn the meeting.
Cool. Good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining, listening in, and yeah, providing some feedback. I appreciate all of you for at least listening in, and really appreciate Zarmian for coming up and talking about all the updates that he's got on his plate. And yeah, it'll be fun to go live with Dorkfy tomorrow, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things to talk about over the next few weeks. Um, with the ecosystem development and all that fun stuff too. All right, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one. Thanks.